An unexpected confession came from Park Jimin's mouth just hours after he closed the 2025 USA Fashion Week with his spectacular performance. But even more surprising was Jungkook's reaction, who is usually known to be calm and reserved about personal matters, showing a shock he couldn't hide. What exactly did Jimin say, and why did that confession shake Jungkook? Surprises kept coming since Jimin's name was announced as a special guest at America's biggest fashion event this year. But no one predicted that the highlight of everything would not lie in the clothes he wore or the grandeur of the runway, but in the words he delivered privately behind the scenes. Words that not only touched many, but also made Jungkook, who was among the VIP guests that night, react in a way completely out of character. Media sources present backstage revealed that after Jimin finished his final runway session, he was asked by several journalists to give a brief comment. But what he said was not a typical statement. With a serious expression and a voice full of emotion, Jimin said, "I stood here tonight not just as a brand ambassador. I stood here carrying all the insecurities I've kept for so long, and tonight, I let them go." That statement immediately spread. Journalists who heard the confession firsthand described the backstage atmosphere as frozen for a moment. Not because of post-show fatigue, but because no one expected Jimin to share something so personal, so vulnerable, amid the euphoria of an international fashion show. In a follow-up statement published by a fashion media outlet, Jimin admitted that he often felt trapped under the public image that demanded perfection. "There's a burden to being Jimin from BTS. Even when I wanted to appear as myself, I was afraid of disappointing people's expectations," he said. That sentence stunned many, including, directly, Jungkook, who saw the confession clip through an exclusive backstage broadcast shown in the VIP room. Eyewitnesses stated that Jungkook's reaction was visibly different than usual. He remained silent, staring at the screen for a long time without saying a word. Some staff mentioned that he briefly left the room minutes after the confession clip aired. Shortly after, cameras caught him speaking briefly with a manager, and his expression seemed emotional. Korean media quickly responded to the news, stating this was the first time Jimin publicly spoke about the psychological burden tied to his identity as a public figure. More than an emotional statement, the confession was seen as a crucial step in opening up discussions about mental pressure faced by K-pop idols, an issue rarely discussed honestly and openly. Jungkook, who is well known to be very close to Jimin both personally and professionally, finally responded with a short post on the Weverse community platform. The sentence was only one: "I feel like I failed to really know you, and that hurts." The post immediately garnered over 2 million interactions in under 6 hours. Armies from around the world flooded the comments with emotional support, not only for Jimin's bravery but also for Jungkook, who showed a very rare human and emotional side publicly. Media analysts from Hankook Ilbo called this a significant shift in the public relationship between BTS members. They're not just co-workers, not just bandmates. They are witnesses to each other's journeys under extreme pressure. And when one admits to being hurt, the other feels like he failed to protect him, a senior columnist said. Furthermore, Jimin's confessions sparked wider discussions across public platforms, including academic forums and popular psychology communities, about the importance of internal support systems among celebrities. Many say that the statement represents extraordinary courage, rarely seen from public figures, especially in a culture that demands constant smiles and flawlessness from idols. A well-known psychiatrist from South Korea, Dr. Lee Hae-jun, told the media he hopes Jimin's confession can become a trigger for more young stars to speak up about their mental conditions without fear of stigma. What Jimin did that night wasn't just for himself, but for the next generation entering the entertainment industry, he said. Meanwhile, HYB released a brief statement expressing that they fully support their artists' decisions to express personal experiences as long as it's done with integrity and full awareness of its impact. They also confirmed that Jimin was accompanied by professional teams throughout the planning of the appearance, including preparing his personal statement. Still, the public's main focus was on how Jungkook processed it all. In a separate interview conducted a few days later by an international media outlet, Jungkook admitted that Jimin's confession made him reassess everything he thought he understood. He stated, "Sometimes we get too busy being strong together, we forget to check if each of us is really okay. This statement was not only touching but also resonated with millions of fans who have long seen BTS as an inspiration of strength and solidarity. Jungkook mentioned that after hearing the confession, he contacted Jimin directly and they had a long conversation, not as group mates, but as friends trying to deeply understand one another's feelings. ARMY's reaction was overwhelming. Many posted messages of support, digital art, and emotional reaction videos to Jimin's and Jungkook's statements. Hashtags like #ThankYouJimin and #WeHearYou Jungkook topped worldwide trends for several days. Now, the world doesn't just see Jimin as a fashion model or global star. He's seen as a human being brave enough to expose his most vulnerable side in front of millions. And Jungkook, who witnessed it all from the closest distance, gave a response no less important: to listen, to understand, and to admit that even the people we love the most can hold pain we never knew existed. After a thorough investigation using official sources, including statements from HYB, media interviews, and official documentation from USA Fashion Week 2025, it has been confirmed that the news regarding Jimin's shocking confession after the fashion show and Jungkook's emotional reaction is not true and lacks any verifiable factual basis. There is no official evidence, no live broadcasts, no official posts from Jungkook, nor any statements from Jimin or Dior that support the narrative of Jimin making a personal confession backstage, especially regarding his mental condition. There is also no credible documentation showing that Jungkook expressed his surprise or said he failed to understand Jimin as claimed. Searches across official platforms such as Weverse, Twitter, X, and BTS's YouTube channel, as well as official member counts, revealed no such public statement or emotional broadcast. Furthermore, USA Fashion Week organizers never released any transcript or documentation mentioning a personal confession from Jimin. Much of the narrative in this article is speculative and written in an emotional and dramatic style to attract readers. This type of story cannot be treated as valid information, especially when lacking verifiable or independent sources. As readers, it's crucial to practice caution when consuming such stories, especially those involving the personal lives of public figures. In the Korean entertainment industry context, hoaxes or sensational narratives can significantly impact artists' reputations and their relationship with fans. For that reason, it's always important to refer to official sources, credible media outlets, and avoid spreading information that is only viral but not factual. Thus, this story is categorized as false and should not be disseminated further. This clarification is made as a responsibility to public information so as not to cause misunderstandings among ARMY and the general public.